Hello everyone and welcome to Club Reaction as Rangers defeat St Mirren by 2-1 in Paisley. That is why we are champions. I am your host Scott Carney and I'm joined by Ali Pearson. How's it going, mate?
Not bad. Slightly hungover today, but I don't know whether that actually made it worse or better watching that, to be honest.
And Scott Gemmell, how's it going, mate?
Yeah, I'm all right. Particularly after the way that game finished. Yeah, I'm good.
You're good. And Scots is still on the drink, everybody. So
yep, on the beer.
So yeah, I mean, it was a bit of an up and down game. To be completely honest, it was not really a performance in any way, shape, or form by Rangers. But again, we've shown a wee bit of grit and determination to get ourselves back into that match and to hold on and win it. Saying hold on, the second half was pretty much a non-event. Kind of reminded me a wee bit of the Bromby match, if I'm being completely honest. Not very much happened. But the starting 11 today, there was one change from Thursday night. McLaughlin coming in from McGregor. Apart from that, it was unchanged. So Tavernier, Goldson, Balogun, Barisic, Davis, Lundstrom, Aribo, Hadji, Roof and Morelos. Ali, I was a bit shocked not to see Kamara back in today.
Yeah, I thought I wasn't shocked with McLaughlin because I thought he'd come in, but yeah, I thought Kamara would slip in there. I know we've got the Sheep on Wednesday night, which is a big game, but I thought Kamara would come in, to be honest. And yeah, I can see what he's trying to do. He's trying to keep the same team twice in a row in terms of outfield players, so you can see what he was trying to do. But he's obviously looking forward to Wednesday with the Sheep. But yeah, I was surprised as well.
Yeah, Scotia, any real shocks in the team? You were miles off it with your selection.
I expected changes because we had Aberdeen on the Wednesday night, and it didn't come to fruition. I think Ryan had said that keep the same team, get a wee bit, keep that solid for a wee while. But I expected this game to be the game that you change it up because the games were sort of Thursday, Sunday, Wednesday. Thought this was the game to change it. We didn't. McLaughlin coming in for McGregor, yeah, no shocks there. But we didn't get any energies in it anyway, so that's the main thing.
Yeah, as I say, I think I was just shocked that he kept it exactly the same, to be completely honest. A game like St Mirren away, no disrespect to St Mirren, I don't think you need Lundstrom and Davis on the park at the same time. But that's back to the age-old argument that we've had for ages about Kamara, Davis and Jack being the same midfield and all that kind of thing. But yeah, I was just a wee bit shocked that Kamara didn't come back in. But as I say, it's not really cost us in the end. So in the match itself, it was the worst possible start from Rangers you can actually imagine. An absolute screamer though from the boy St Mirren. I forgot his name. Is it Brogan or something was his name?
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, I mean, you can't take away from the finish if we're going to be honest, Ali, but we have to be doing better at the start of the games in the middle of the park because it was far too easy for him to get himself away, but I will not take away from the finish.
Good strike from the boy, but it's all came for our downfalls. Tav trying to control a ball or something, misplaces it to Lundstrom. He can't get control of it either, and it breaks to that boy, and nobody probably thought he was going to shoot, including McLaughlin, to be honest, but good strike, but we can stop that happening by what happened between Tav and Lundstrom. We created that goal ourselves, to be honest. But yeah, you need to give credit to that guy who had that shot. It was a wonder goal from him, and fair play to him. But it was the worst possible start we could get off to be honest.
Yeah, Scotia, I initially thought, just because of the distance that it got hit from, I initially thought it must have been a deflection. There's no way that McLaughlin's been caught out from there. Maybe the sun as well, but I think Ali's probably correct there that it was just the shock of him taking it on. And look, it's probably a goal of the season contender.
I know, it's right up there. It was an absolutely, lay it on a plate to someone and then I take it, and it was an absolutely brilliant strike. Yeah, we caused our own downfall. Ryan said it. We've all said it, that this is going to be, it's our league to lose, and it's stuff like that will lose us a league, because I thought Tav's pass to Lundstrom was horrific, if I'm being completely honest. And then what Lundstrom was poor as well, but what can he do with that poor a pass? So the boy gets it laid on a plate for him, knocks it away. Fair play to St Mirren, and that be 3 minutes in, and I'm already chucking windows out.
I was exactly the same. I was not happy when it went in, but obviously when you see it back, you're like, I mean, the guy's an absolute screamer there. Let's be completely honest, but it just seemed to add to our, if I'm going to be honest, absolute shit show of the first kind of 25 minutes of that half. Rangers were so poor. I mean, the pitch didn't look great, and it's the same for both teams, I know, but it looked heavy. It looked kind of bobbly. The bounce of the ball seemed a wee bit weird at points as well, and I just felt like it was kind of all adding to us not being able to get anything going. I mean, St Mirren chased us all over the park really for the first kind of 20 minutes or so, and I don't think we really put more than 4 passes together at any point. Ali, it was looking like one team wanted it and one team didn't.
Yeah, I would say it's the worst I've seen Rangers this season, and I've seen Rangers bad this season, so that's not good. But no, I agree. One team wanted it more, and it was St Mirren. They were chasing us all over the park, closing us down. Their passing was good. Our passing was dreadful, absolutely dreadful, man. And yeah, I mean, me and Scotia talked about last night. It's the dreaded 12 o'clock kickoff we were going on about last season, and for some reason, they just don't start Rangers in these 12 o'clock kickoffs. I don't know what it is. They're only going 10 minutes down the road to bloody Paisley, for Christ's sake. And that first 25 minutes would worry Gerrard a bit, I think, because it was woeful, to be polite, to be honest. It was not good enough. And yeah, it was, we get out of jail, obviously, when we come into the goal. But no, first 25 minutes, I'm sorry. That's not acceptable in a Rangers jersey for any of them. And the only ones I would give nobody pass marks in the first 25 minutes. That's how bad it was. Hadji was the best guy in the park, but dreadful.
Yeah, Scotia, would you go along with that? The first kind of 20-25 minutes, there's not really anybody that's getting pass marks.
Yeah, no, I've got 10 minutes. St Mirren were living up to what I've been told about them. I said in the pod that we done on Saturday morning, sorry. It was getting that in there. They were a good team. They played football, and they looked like that. They were hungry in the middle. They looked the better team than, if anyone that wasn't watching didn't know Scottish football, you would go along and watch that game first off. You'd go St Mirren were the better team, and they're the team that people are challenging for. Then in 20 minutes, Rangers pish is basically what I've noted down. And yeah, it was. I think it was up until we had like a wee couple of corners with Goldson up in about 25, 27 minutes. And that's when we started to actually grow into the game. But yeah, you could write off that first 30 minutes. So please, SPFL, let's not let Rangers play at 12 o'clock on a Sunday.
Well, they are next Sunday.
Next Sunday is exactly the same, mate. Yeah, against Motherwell.
Oh, no.
So, I think you're right, though, that we weren't even winning 50-50 tackles. Do you know what I mean? Like, we were getting caught out with the bounce of the ball. Even the ball was bouncing, we were trying to win headers. We just weren't getting close to it. And I was feeling the worst, I'm not going to lie. Typical Rangers fan, I know. I was just feeling the worst. I was thinking, this isn't good. And I'd already started ranting. The missus had already got sick of it and left the living room to go upstairs and clean another room or something. I don't know, but she was sick of listening to me already. And yeah, it was just not good enough. Everything about it was just dire. I mean, we did start growing at the game, and obviously in hindsight now, we know the result, we know what happened. St Mirren were never going to last that pace because they were chasing everything down. I mean, everything. They weren't letting us just try to stop us playing out from the back, and we were really struggling to get out. And I just kept saying every time we got the ball at the back, I said the long ball's coming to no one here, and it happened every time. It was either Goldson, it was either Tav, it was either Bargain, it was a long ball, and it was to absolutely no one. But you're right, the kind of two headers that were carbon copies of each other in the 24th and the 26th minute from Goldson. Rangers started to kind of turn the screw a wee bit. We were starting to grow into the game, starting to play passes, starting to put a wee bit of sustained pressure on top of St Mirren. Hadji did in a chance on the turn on 36 minutes, but it was deflected wide, but we didn't give a corner for it. And then three words that we all love to hear. Penalty for Rangers. Hadji's brought down at the edge of the box. Roof did really well to win the ball kind of high up the pitch. Hadji turns inside if he's going to shoot. He's right on the edge of the box. Doesn't matter. He's still in the box. He falls outside the box. It's a penalty all day long. Kamar Roof steps up, absolutely buries it in the corner. It's one each in Ali. It's a kind of sigh of relief from us all, but just a wee thing. I do not like the way Kamar Roof he's run up for a penalty. I don't like it.
No, first when I seen it, I thought it was a free kick to Rangers, and I was screaming for that. I think it was Power to get booked. I don't even think he got booked for that challenge, to be honest. But I know the referee gives a penalty, Stonewall penalty, and it was coming. I felt a goal was coming, but we had to get it before half time because it 1-0 going in 1-0 down. It's dodgy. So yeah, but no, that run up for Kamar Roof, I do not like either. That we run and stop and.
The wee taffy feet thing, yeah.
It's not for me, to be honest, but it's a good penalty, puts it away nicely. And at that point, I'm thinking, right, let's go in at half-time, 1 each, we can reset and go again the second half. I thought we'd get out of jail a wee bit, but it was coming. The last 10, 15 minutes of that first half was all Rangers. We were growing in it. Hadji had quite a few shots. There was one shot he had where it got deflected, should have been a corner, but the referee somehow didn't see it. He was the best man in the park, I thought, the first half, Hadji. I really did. I thought he was trying to make things happen. But, yeah, at 1 each, I'm thinking, thank Christ for that.
Yeah, Scotia, your man Hadji, he really did, especially after the wee wave of St Mirren starting. Once we started to grow into the game, he really did start to try and make things happen. And Stonewall penalty, and it's a good finish by Roof.
Yeah, I mean, on Hadji, for that 15-minute period that we had towards the end of that first half, Rangers were right on top of it, and Hadji was finding all the wee pockets of spaces, and he was trying to do things. And I know an awful lot of people don't appreciate that because you want to see something happen straight away, but he's always looking to do wee things in that, and I'm getting more intelligent watching football by watching him. You know what I mean? Well, what? I tried to be.
How many beers have you had?
Oh God.
No, I mean, none of Hadji's beers. It's that Pepsi has, isn't it? But yeah, no, Hadji was great. And then on the Roof penalty, yeah, Roof's now our penalty taker, I expect. But yeah, I'm not a fan of the wee run up. It's similar to I don't know if you're like this, but I'm not a fan of a left-footed player taking penalties. Just gives me the fear all the time.
Well, Albert's was pretty good at it.
True. Yeah, it's probably just driven
but
from.
I think, yeah, since that though, it was Barisic that was taking them after Tavidi's wee blip and was injured, and Barisic can only hit one bit of the net, as Ali would always say. So that's maybe why we don't like left-handed, left-footed players hitting penalties. But I think Kamar Roof did really well. It's a great finish. Look, if he wants to run up backwards and still bury the penalties like that, I'm not going to really care. But it's just every time he does it, I'm like, don't do that. Just run up and hit it as hard as you can. Do you know what I mean? But it got us back into the game, and straight away Rangers had their tails up, and you could see even in the lead up to this goal that we were firing, and we knew that it kind of took St Mirren took a bit of a dent, really, was getting the equaliser. And straight away, right up the park, Aribo slips down, Tav down the right-hand side, who flips the ball in. The St Mirren defender at the near post does not deal with it. But there is our man, the Buffalo. He's at the back to make it 100 goals for him, for Rangers. Hedge it into the ground, hedge it into the net to make it 2-1. He runs into the crowd for his celebration. He obviously ends up getting a booking for it, but I think it was just all out of pure frustration and relief again for him to finally get that goal. And Ali, I'm just glad that he's got his 100 goals now, and Morelos can start putting more chances away.
Yeah, it was a good ball in for Tav, to be honest. That defender goes to hit it, misses it. And it's not an easy finish, that, for Morelos. A lot of folk think it's a tap-in, but it's not, because you'll expect that boy to clear that. He misses it. He's got a split second to react, Morelos, and he puts it in the back of the net. And I was delighted. I was delighted it was Buffalo as well, because it sickened Crocker and Andy Walker as well, which I was delighted about, because they don't like Rangers, which is obvious. But no, it was good that it was Buffalo. And he went into the crowd, and Ryan put in the group chat, I think it was just in front of him, so he was loving that as well. But no, I just love to see Alfie like that. He just gets Rangers. He gets what we're about. And the only thing I said to Scotia at half time was, shite, he's on a booking now. So, which is always dangerous going into a second half. It can kind of restrict his play to a point in terms of the way he plays as a centre forward. But no, I was delighted for the wee man, and I never seen us going in 2-1 at half time after 25 minutes.
I certainly didn't as well, mate, but I had a wee jump about my living room at that point. Maybe we went 2-1. I was so happy that we'd managed to find enough to get ourselves back in the lead. Scotia, just delighted to see Alfredo get his 100th goal.
Yeah, 100 goals. What's that? It's about 59 in the league.
Yeah,
It's what the
25
stats
in
said.
Europe, and then
It's
the
like
rest
6 and
between the
9 or
league and
something.
cup and the cup. Aye, so fair play to him. I think what they were saying in commentary as well. That's the first player to do it since Kenny Miller and Chris Boyd to reach that 100 goal mark for Rangers. So
That's
absolutely delighted for him in that respect. And he played okay again today. I think he was pretty poor on Thursday night. I thought he was really good on last Saturday against Hearts, but he wasn't scoring, and I think he misses Kent a wee bit. So when Kent gets back in the team, I think you can see Alfie getting 150 goals this season. Is that another 50 goals that I'm giving him? Yeah, that's maybe a bit ambitious, but that's more like a Ryan's Negri shout, isn't it?
That is, mate. Yes, but no, delighted to see the wee man get his goal. I mean, absolutely delighted with it, and I just love Alfredo Morelos. And now, hopefully, he's got that wee weight off his shoulder to get his 100 goals, and he's going to kick on now. So again, the rest of the half, Rangers were really in control of it. Hadji had a shot from distance, but it was saved. That was just an injury time of the first half, and we were going at half time 2-1 up, and you could see the camera pan to the St Mirren manager as he was going down the tunnel, and you could see the shake of his head because he probably couldn't believe it himself. He's probably just as shocked as we are, the fact that we're 2-1 up at half time. But my thoughts at half time was the game was far from over, let's be completely honest, because we know what Rangers have been like. We're playing for 45 minutes and then we don't really play for much else. But I think we've just done so well to get ourselves ahead of that. The pitch was a shocker. I'm not going to lie, but we were Hadji, Roof, and Morelos has kind of got us back into this game. Ali, would you go along with that? That we probably. It was a kind of a half of two halves, if that makes sense. And we're probably a wee bit fortunate to be 2-1 up, really.
Yeah, that's how I was going to describe it. It was like a two halves within a half, if you want to say. First 25 minutes, dreadful, that I said. And then the last 20 minutes, Rangers grew in, controlled. And yeah, it's a bit corny, we say all the time. It's a mark of champions again, coming back for 1-0 down to show a bit of character and to lead going in at half time. And yeah, I was delighted, to be honest. And I just thought at that point, because you don't know what you, like you say, I mean, it's true, you don't know what you're going to get with Rangers. I mean, you just don't know what you're going to get with them in the second half. They could come out and blow St Mirren away, or they could come out and do next to nothing. But that's the danger with Rangers at the moment. You just don't know what you're going to get, and it's not great for your heart, to be honest. But no, I was delighted though going in at 2-1 because I just didn't see it.
Yeah, thoughts at half time, Scosh?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even. I think Ian Crocker said it in the commentary. It was two halves of a half, but I think we only played well for 15 minutes. But those 15 minutes were what mattered and what changed the game, and that's when we were on it. Yeah, so really disappointed with the first 20-30 minutes. If I'm being completely honest, that's, yeah, as Ali had mentioned earlier, worst I think I've seen us play all season. So I was raging a wee bit about that. But the 15 minutes that we played well, I think it turned the game, and I felt, yeah, we kind of deserve it. St Mirren were blown out their arse after about that. So, yeah, quite happy at half time.
Did you not think the midfield three of Davis, Lundstrom and Aribo just didn't really work again? I know we keep going on about it, the Davis-Lundstrom scenario, in terms of we kind of don't think they work together. I didn't think it worked again today in the middle of the park. I thought it kind of restricted. I thought it restricted John Lundstrom again in terms of what he wants to do, and vice versa Davis. I just thought it didn't really work, to be honest, again.
Yeah, I honestly forgot that Davis was playing at parts today.
Yeah, I thought he was poor at times.
He didn't seem to be there. And we always say he's a 7 out of 10 kind of player. I didn't. I forgot he was on the pitch for a while. And I was like, oh, you'd messaged me, Ali, and said, he's on the pitch. And I was like, oh, so he is. Yeah, so the midfield wasn't great because St Mirren's midfield, particularly in that first 30 minutes, they were winning every ball. First to the challenge kind of thing. They looked hungrier. And we just looked like, what do we do?
I think we grew into the game in sense of the way Davis and Lundstrom play. Look, we've said it before, they end up in the same parts of the pitch all the time. Do you know what I mean? They always end up right next to each other, and we kind of take away any sort of width. The way St Mirren were trying to stop us playing, they were trying to stop us playing out from the back, trying to stop the ball getting to Tav and to Barisic. And Davis and Lundstrom were doing the dropping deep thing. They were kind of switching it around between them. But I think, if I'm being honest, you need Kamara there to be able to do that. You need Kamara there to be able to get the ball and turn. Lundstrom, I thought in the first kind of 15 minutes was awful. I mean, really bad. But I mean, he grew into the game, just like the rest of the team. But I thought Lundstrom, some of his decision making was shocking, and even the tackle that he tried early on in the game, he was miles away from it. And yeah, I think that harps back to what I was saying at the start of the pod, that I'm shocked that Kamara didn't play this. I really am. We all kind of knew. Gerrard would have known what St Mirren were going to try and do. And yeah, I probably am a wee bit shocked that Lundstrom and Davis were in the same team. In Europe, I could get it. It kind of made sense to do it in Europe. Also, without Kamara actually being available, then you've got to try and get your best players on the park. But yeah, I'm not sure they're correct for the same starting 11. So we'll jump into the second half. Much slower start to the half. Really, really, really slow. The first effort and goal comes from a Tav header as he makes a kind of centre forward run to get to the end of a Barisic cross. Morelos has got a chance after good work from Aribo down the right hand side, which is a bit too much pressure on him, and he puts it wide. But for the first 20 minutes of the half, Ali, there was not very much to report on.
Yeah, I think you said it was kind of like Thursday night. I honestly thought I'd morphed back to the second half of Thursday night. It felt that way again in terms of a bit of a non-event, to be honest. I thought Rangers were in control. They seemed in control, but fuck, I don't know how many times I say it in this bloody podcast. They need to go and kill teams off. The third goal would have killed it completely, and we probably would have went on and scored another couple probably. We just need to kill teams because the longer a match goes and a team's 1-0 behind us, whatever, they've got every chance of getting back into a game. So, and I thought we had enough chances within that second half to kill the game, and we didn't again. And it's a slight concern for me that we aren't killing games at the moment.
I can't disagree, mate. I think, but again, Scotia, I do think St Mirren didn't offer very much in that half whatsoever. They did look like they did all their running in the first 20-25 minutes of the game.
Yeah, it was, let's be honest, it was a pretty boring second half. You're just sitting there going like, all right, what can I do? I've got this to do, that to do. Sitting watching it, just hoping that we don't concede. And yeah, Ali's right in the fact that we do need that another goal cushion, because I'm not convinced. I keep on saying I'm not convinced with us defensively, but we weren't really threatened defensively today. Apart, I mean, obviously the boy that scored the goal for them, great goal, but that wasn't at the fault of like a defensive default. You know, obviously Tav was involved in that, but it wasn't a defensive block that was in problem with. So yeah, the second half that was boring. To be blatantly honest, it was a pretty boring affair.
Yeah,
although
I would. All right, sorry.
What I was going to say is, because I was looking at Barisic and I was going like, we've not spoken an awful lot about Barisic, and has he been poor? Has he not been poor? And then he put in that cross for Tav that you spoke about, and I think he's been similar to Tav this season, that he's not been quite at where he needs to be. Now, whether that's the injury he had in the Euros earlier this year, but he's not been great, but he wasn't poor. Just I want a wee bit more for Barisic as well.
But, yeah, Ali, what were you going to say?
I was going to say I thought Leon Balogun today was brilliant at the back again. I thought shows how much of a big player he was. I thought he gave that Brophy nothing today, and that Brophy's been a thorn in our side for Kilmarnock over the last couple of seasons. And I thought he was really good today, Balogun. I just thought he showed that he's a big player for us at the back, and if he did get injured, well, Jack Simpson was nowhere to be seen today. So I would say that tells a story about him.
I said that to you when you've seen the starting lineup come out. The fact that I know Bassey can cover at centre back and at left back, but the fact that Simpson's nowhere near the substitutes bench, it kind of tells you the way the pecking order's working. In my personal opinion,
He's gone.
Yeah, in my personal opinion, I think it just shows where he's at in Gerrard's mind. In terms of Barisic, you're probably right, Scotia. I think both of our fullbacks have kind of struggled to find that consistency and form that we've found from them in past months, past years, even. And I will agree. I think Balogun was pretty superb today for that Brophy. That Brophy, I think, ripped his Balogun shot just for trying to even win battles with him. And he was constantly trying to win the free kicks of backing into him and stuff, but Balogun handled him really, really well. And it's good to see that he's come through fit, and he's obviously, it was just a precaution more than anything else to take him off on Thursday night. Sakala then comes on for Alfredo Morelos. There's a chance for Sakala. In my personal opinion, he should be doing a lot better with this year. I know the defender kind of falls down as the ball's coming in to him, but Ali, I think he has to score here.
He's got to bury it. I was shouting at Telly at this point, so he's got to bury it. I mean, I know Lee doesn't really like Sakala in terms of he doesn't think he's good enough to play for Rangers. I'm willing to give him time, Sakala, but I really thought Sakala offered nothing when he came on the park. I don't think he did anything, to be honest. He kind of ran about, looked a bit busy, but really didn't do anything, to be honest. But he's got to take that chance. And it goes back to what I'm saying in terms of killing off teams. We need to take these chances. And again, that's a big moment in a game. He takes that. The game then at that point is dead and buried.
Yeah, agreed. Scotia, you go along with that. He has to score.
Yeah, does he even connect with it? I don't think he just takes
I don't think so, no.
And you know that way. And I think, Ali, you might have said this a few pods back, that Sakala should have been the one that went out on loan rather than Nitton. Because Sakala,
no, it was Ryan. Ryan said that, I think.
Was it Ryan? Was it Ryan that said that, right?
I think actually, lads, yes. Thanks for paying attention to me and all that, by the way. It's made me feel great sometimes.
Well, I know it was one of the 4 years or one of the 3 years that said it. Yeah.
But I mean, he's not a young boy, Sakala. I mean, we talk about him as if he's 19, 20. He's 24, Sakala. He scored 15 goals in the Belgian league last season. I mean, it's not as if he's we talk about him as like we talk about what do you call him, Scholar Wright, he's a kind of
project player,
and he's 24. I mean, come on. Sounds like we're picking on him here, but
yeah,
I'm just saying
we're not picking him because obviously scored against Real Madrid, and what Rangers player can say that they've scored against Real Madrid?
Come on,
it's a friendly, but
it's a friendly. I know. But it was the same. The chance they had against Brøndby on Thursday night, like, you were expecting that to win. But to be fair on him in that respect, Morelos probably would have done the same on the Thursday night game, getting in and not scoring.
Potentially, but I think after Morelos got that goal today, if that Sakala chance comes to Morelos buries that.
Yeah,
Morelos scores that, yeah. So, Sakala, yeah. I want him to do well, and I think he will do well, but he is raw.
I think we all want him to do well. We're not. I don't want to be too harsh on the lad. Like, I want him to do well, but when you're getting chances like that and critical points in games, obviously it's not come back to bite us in the arse today. But at critical points like that, you have to be putting that away. You have to at least make the keeper make a save. It might be a wee bit unlucky, as I said, because the defenders kind of fell. It might have put him off his stride a wee bit, but adapt to it and bury it, because I do think I think even if that's Roof or Morelos, I think that's a goal. I think we would be 3-1 up. St Mirren then bring on the hammer throw that is Curtis Main, so it was quite clear what St Mirren were planning at this point, and we were nearing the kind of last 10 minutes. Rangers were in no danger at this point, Ali, really. St Mirren had offered very little. I think actually just before I started thinking my next sentence, I don't think St Mirren had a chance on goal or an attempt on target, but I was beginning to think, okay, we've controlled this half, we are 2-1 up, but I have seen this movie before in the last 10 minutes of a match.
Yeah. I mean, I did think that the Sakala chance was a pivotal point in the game in terms of he's not taking it. And it probably gives them a bit of heart, St Mirren, going into the last 10 minutes. And I mean, to be honest, St Mirren did nothing that second half. I know we can sit by after the game and say it. It's not great when you're 2-1 up, especially as we know how Rangers have played this season. They are liable of losing a goal or creating it from our own downfall. So I was, to be honest, kind of shite myself the last 10 minutes, even though St Mirren really did nothing. And I don't actually think McLaughlin had a save at anything to make. A couple of corners and that they had, but they never offered anything in the second half. So I was quite disappointed in St Mirren in the second half in terms of, I think you're right. I think they blew themselves out that first 25 minutes, and the 2-1 kind of knocked the stuffing out of them, and they never really came back for that.
Yeah, 2 goals in 2 minutes is always going to be a struggle for any team to respond to be completely honest, especially the efforts that they had put in. I think if it had got to 1 each at half-time, it would have been a much different second half, that's for sure. But yeah, Scotia, how were you feeling going into the last 10 minutes? Were you comfortable enough?
Yeah, I think Rangers were playing, controlling the game. I think that's the key thing. They were controlling the game. They weren't playing well in the second half. Or not well, that's maybe the wrong phrase to use, but they weren't as good as we can be. But we were just controlling the game. We were controlling the ball. And just saying St Mirren, come at us. And as Ali said there, I think they did blow out their arses in that first 25, 30 minutes. So they're just like, no, we're comfortable here. And you're fine. I didn't have any concerns going into the last 10, 16 minutes.
I just kept thinking to myself, though, it's going to be typical that we'll do it again to ourselves. But we make a sub. Hadji comes off. Scott Arfield makes his second appearance in a couple of games. After us saying Scott Arfield, he's come back and come on twice. He starts saying that. Where's Ryan Jack? That means hopefully he'll play on Wednesday. Yeah, and then the kind of relief, I suppose, not relief, that's the wrong word to say. You don't want to see a player getting seriously injured, but it looks like he had a real problem. The boy went down for St Mirren, he was down for about 6 minutes, and St Mirren had used all their subs, so they were now down to 10 men. We then made our final sub with Kamal Roof coming off for Nathan Patterson, and no, I am not kidding. That's not a mistake. Kamal Roof has come off and Nathan Patterson has come on. 7 minutes of added on time due to the injury. It looked like Nathan Patterson was playing kind of right mid-alley. Is this something we're going to see?
I think he can play that position. I think he's quick. I think he's got a trick in his locker, if you want to say as well, Patterson. He's got quick feet. Potentially he could play that. I've said before, if the two of them are playing in the team, Tav has to play right back, because Tav can't play where Patterson played in the park today, because Tav needs to see the whole park in front of him. So I was interested in seeing Patterson there, and I thought he did well. I know he was only on the park for 6 minutes, but I thought he did well. He got us up the park and won a good free kick for us. But yeah, no, it was an interesting one from Gerrard to see that.
Yeah, Scotia, what do you make of that? The way Patterson come on, like he was playing, because it looked like we'd went maybe a 4-4-1-1 or maybe like a 4-5-1 even. Yeah,
I mean, with 7 minutes to go, I'm not too bothered about it. Just to like shore up numbers, refresh players and things like that. But it wouldn't be something that I want to go down the route of, because if you remember Ross McCrory, he was centre defender for us. Then Gerrard came in. He was never a centre defender. He's a midfielder, and then he goes away. And now he's playing it like right back for Aberdeen now these days. I think.
Is he?
Most of the time.
Plays a centre half, I think.
Is he back to centre half now? But I don't want that kind of thing to happen with Nathan Patterson. So no, he's a right back. But if you've got 7-10 minutes in a game left, just to shore up numbers, make sure things are ticking along, then yeah, no worries. But no, right back for Patterson.
I was quite interested in it, to be honest. Though I will go along with what Ali said there, that James Tavernier has to play right back. If you're going to play both in the same team, Tav has to be the one that plays at the back. But I'd be interested to see it. As I say, I'm all for Nathan Patterson and James Tavernier being in the same team. I mean, if they two clicked, our right hand side that's pretty strong to have. You've got a lot of pace there as well with Patterson. He's fast and he's determined. He doesn't shy away at all. And you're right, Ali, he did really well to get us a free kick late up the pitch. The one that led for a Barisic attempt on goal was deflected out for the corner. We then make a bit of an arse of the game management in the corner, even though I do think it was a throw in to Rangers, but the linesman gave it to St Mirren. They got a chance to get up the park. They had a corner right at the death. Jack Alnwick come up for it, but Rangers ended up rewarded a free kick, and it finishes St Mirren 1, Rangers 2. And That is that, Ali, and thank God it's over.
Yeah, I don't know why we concede a corner kick in all these games in the last second. Honestly,
every game, yeah,
it's not good for my heart. It's going to kill me. I've told you, Rangers will kill me one day, and that isn't good for my heart. And you see the goalkeeper coming up, and you have the flashbacks to that St Johnstone goalkeeper, but he whips it and nothing comes for it. Free kick at Rangers, and that's it. But I was just relieved to get out of there with 3 points. I said to Scotia at half-time when it was 2-1. I honestly thought Rangers was going to score more, but I said to Scotia, I'd take 2-1 right now. I just want the 3 points and up the road, and that's what they got. And to me, I just tick that game off, and we roll on to Aberdeen Wednesday night.
Yeah, that's really it, Scotia, isn't it? It was just, after the way the first half went, just get out with 3 points.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, I think we played well for, about 15, 20 minutes? Like, really well. And that was it. And that got us the win. So happy with that. I had a wee bit of the fear eye when Alnwick was coming up for that, because it does give you that. But I remember Hearts scored from a corner at the very fucking dying stages of the game last week. So you're going like, oh, not again. Please no, please no. Yeah, I've seen that. I think you put that in the chat, Carney. We've seen this story before.
Yeah.
But no, I'm happy. Obviously, Hearts drew yesterday, so that's us
3 points
clear of them. 4 points clear of who are going to be our biggest rivals. I would expect Hearts to fall away, in all honesty. So, aye, good. Happy days.
Happy days. So, yeah, we roll into Wednesday night now. It's going to be, Aberdeen managed to get a result against Hibs yesterday, so they'll have their tails up a wee bit, but we'll preview that later in the week. Ali, man of the match.
Tough one. I thought Scotia's man Hadji, for a spell, I would say, of half an hour, I thought was really good. I thought he was really good. Intelligent, the way Scotia says he finds the pockets. Also thought Kamar Roof got it for Sky Sports, by the way. I thought he was decent, but when he say he was man of the match, I thought he was decent. I'm going to give it Leon Balogun. I thought he gave that Brophy absolutely nothing from a guy that's been a thorn in our side and gives us bother. You wouldn't have known he was in the game, Brophy. So, aye, big Leon Balogun for me.
Fair enough. Scotia, man of the match.
So, well, firstly, get the contract extension out for Balogun then, Ali.
100%.
100%. Give me another year, yeah.
No, I had two in my mind, and Ali mentioned both of them. I'll go for my man, Hadji. I thought he was the one that was trying to get things going, and eventually did, and won the penalty and stuff. And it was, yeah, it's just how intelligent he is in playing that I love to see, because we don't see enough of that up here in Scotland.
That's fair enough. I'm struggling with this one, to be completely honest. I'm probably going to go along with Sky Sports though and pick Kamar Roof. I think he just in points today, he was vital for us, especially scoring the penalty and his work that he was doing. He did put a bit of a shift in. He was really chasing everything down. He got us up the park when he needed to get up the park at times, and I can completely agree with you saying Balogun and Hadji for that matter, but I will go for Roof for getting us a penalty and for getting us going today, even though he does the most ridiculous of penalty run-ups. But that'll do us. We roll on now. We'll be back on Tuesday night with a club deck corner or a club preview, I've not decided yet, or ahead of the Aberdeen game. So for today, Ali, thank you very much, mate.
No problem. Just a way to watch the rest of the football and Super Sunday football. So we'll enjoy that.
Yeah, looking forward to the Man United Liverpool at 4:30, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll watch that.
Yep.
Yeah, me too. Scotia, cheers, mate.
Yeah, cheers. Carney, before we go, I should have said at the start, there was if anyone was watching the game on Sky Sports today, there was a really good interview between Marvin Bartley and James Tavernier. There's a YouTube clip that's about 30 minutes long, so I would encourage everyone to go and do that, because it's like show racism, the red card kind of thing. Yeah. But even the wee clip that we get shown before the game was, it was quite, brilliant's not the right word to use, but it was very
insightful.
Yeah, that's the word. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for.
But
yeah, so
I think
I would encourage people to do that.
I would agree, mate. I would agree with that. We didn't mean to mention that at the start, mate. That's my bad. But it was a very insightful watch to what these players have went through and what they have to go through. And very interesting to see the the effect that it has on them. Yes, show racism, the red card for sure. If I remember, I will put the link for it in this description for this podcast. But please do go check it out. We have to knock it on the head, really, and it's really not right what these players have to endure. It's not fair at all. But that'll do us. Rangers back to winning ways in the league. Thank goodness it wasn't a spectacular performance, but it was a champions performance to get us out of Paisley 2-1 winners today. So shameless plug from me. Please do like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, give us a wee 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts, like and share anywhere that you can. Help us to get out there to as many people as can. So we'll be back later in the week with a show ahead of the Aberdeen game. And remember to shave your balls with Manscaped. We are Club at 22, the Champions Podcast. Speak to you all next time, folks. Cheers.